We have a very special guest. He is an author, and I call him a kick-ass yogi. He disagrees, but I don't care because he is a kick-ass yogi and author. And he is Neal Pollack, author of Stretch, The Unlikely Making of a Yoga Dude. Well, so in the book, I mean, speaking of that, you know, your wife said you should do yoga and you started taking classes. I mean, in the book, you dove into yoga pretty quickly. I mean, would you say that you were kind of obsessive compulsive about it? The way that you kind of dove in was like, this feels really good and now I'm going full force. I mean, even your wife called herself a yoga widow.
Well, it took 3 or 4 years. I mean, I compressed it in the book because, you know, how many chapters of a guy going to yoga once or twice a week do people want to read? It took 3 or 4 years before I really, you know, felt the charge, and I became really curious and started studying more deeply, and, you know, going off to conferences and seeking, you know, sort of a deeper practice and a deeper understanding of this discipline that had done so much for me. And so it wasn't immediate. I do tend to obsess about things, but it took a while for it to sink in.
Speaking of your master teacher, which is Richard Freeman in
Yes.
Boulder, and he's at the yoga workshop,
That's
for
correct.
those of you that want to check him out. So tell me what that, I know that you initially had met him or at the Yoga Journal conference.
Yes, in San Francisco.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It was in San Francisco.
Yes, and there was something that he said to you and kind of that clicked with you, and then all of a sudden you were like, I think I want to study with this man. And you took out, I believe, a class with him there as well?
Yeah, I took a couple of classes with him at the conference, and I just remember I'd been in some workshop that I really hated. I found super pretentious and trendy, and I just was not what I wanted. So I went to the Ashtanga room, and he was one of the teachers who was sort of, it was a self-practice room. He was one of the teachers who was monitoring it, and I was late. There were maybe 20 minutes left, so I asked him what I should do, and he gave me a few instructions, and then he said, just take it easy. It's a good opportunity to do nothing. And I thought, I've never had a yoga teacher tell me that before, so I should follow this guy to the ends of the earth. And I mean, I went to Thailand to study with him for a couple of weeks, and I did a teacher training with him in Boulder last summer. And it was, you know, transformative in a very sort of subtle way.